I went home, had a little chat with my dad about my finances, and he was like, son, you have to do this, you have to do that. And I was like, all right, dad. But he did have some pretty good ideas, teaching me how to manage myself, because I've never been very good at managing myself, to be honest. I'm a bit of an idiot. I like Akupapa a lot. He's a very strange man. You know, back when we lived in the underworld, he used to be a bit of a tyrant, you know, sort of. But ever since my family and I decided to move to the human world, he's been very he's mellowed out a lot, and I love my dad very much. He's a musician. He plays the guitar, the banjo, and the mandolin. And I remember at a time when I used to live with my dad, it would be sort of 6:37 in the morning, and I would just barely be waking up. I would just be like, oh, just barely waking up. And then my dad would be downstairs, and suddenly you would hear, old Dan Tucker was a fine old man, he brushed his hair with a frying pan, and he would start singing these old country songs, and I'd be like, and I would go downstairs, good morning, Dad. It's like, good morning, Vox, my boy. How are you feeling this morning? I'd be like, I'm fine. And then I'd go have some breakfast. Oh, he's really funny. I was telling him about some films that I'd watched. I had some like vile movies. I watched Midsommar and Hereditary, and he was like, what are those about? And I explained the films to him. He can show it to me. And I was like, yeah, of course. And I showed him the trailer for Hereditary, and right at the moment, we didn't realize. We thought the trailer had just like cuts to black right at that moment to avoid the violence. But no. At that exact moment, the power went out, and he was really struggling to get it to turn back on after a while. You know, he still reads the newspaper, if you can believe it. I mean, in my life, I have never once actually read a newspaper, because it just feels, well, I must have done like a while ago, but you know, these days we just get all of our news online. You just swipe left on your Android and you've got Google and everything with all the news. My dad is still stuck back in his day. You know, I'm quite a tech-savvy old man. You know, I'm getting used to this streaming setup. I've got triple monitors and everything. My old dad, he's still got one monitor. Although, to be fair, he is actually getting better with it. He's got like a nice wall-mounted telly, you know, and he's sort of got a surround sound system. So he's pretty good with it. If I'm 400, my dad is like 8,000 years old, and when